Welcome back, friends. If you're new here, I'm Karin.
And I'm Jeremy, and this is Mapping It.
If you're like us, there's nothing better to get you in the fall spirit than visiting an apple orchard.
The fresh air, the crisp apples, the warm apple cider donuts, it's the ultimate autumn experience.
But with so many great local orchards, how do you choose the right one?
We're doing the work for you. We're traveling around the metro, visiting some of the best local apple orchards.
In this video, we're going to be ranking each orchard we visit on 5 criteria: the apples, the activities, the food and drinks, the overall vibe, and of course the price.
By the end of this video, you'll know the best orchard for your perfect fall adventure.
So let's get started.
Our first stop is Afton Apple Orchard.
We paid $7 to get in, but young kids are $5. They have a lot of activities, including pick your own apples, so let's go explore. Well, our first stop at Afton Apple Orchard is obviously to pick apples. We took a tractor hayride out to the orchard. They have some areas roped off so that you can't pick those. They're not ripe yet. But they dropped us right here. We're picking some Kinder Crisp. This looks great. The cool thing about Afton is right when you arrive, you can taste samples of the apples that are ready to be bought or picked. You might notice that we're not picking Honeycrisp, and that's because Honeycrisp apples are about 7 to 10 days behind. They're a little slow this year, but there are a ton of great apples still to be picked. If you come early in the season, you might be there during Flower Festival. We missed it this year, but let's rewind to last year. Another fun activity that Afton has is pick your own flowers. Sometimes they have zinnias, sometimes they have sunflowers, sometimes they have both. And we got some shears, and we are picking as many as we can fit in a vase. This was an additional $5 entry just to get into the flowers. This is so much fun. A little bit prickly in there. Well, you gotta get in there to get some of the good ones. Like, look at this. We picked some sunflowers. Woo. This place is awesome. And they have a bridge where you can stand to view the sunflowers. It is an epic view for sure.
Very nice.
Yeah. This was worth the extra price to get in. I had so much fun picking sunflowers. In addition to picking apples, Afton also has a raspberry patch. And if you come early enough in the season for apples, you can also pick raspberries. You can pick up your pints right next to the free samples at the front.
In addition to picking apples and berries, they also have a very large playground that's got some unique features like a combine and a tire mountain. They also have some farm animals that you can feed and pet. He's like, you have no food.
They only want food. Bring some change to get food for the animals. Well, a stop to an apple orchard wouldn't be complete without trying some food. We grabbed ourselves an apple cider brat combo. So it comes with an apple cider brat plus a cookie and chips and a drink as well. Let's give this brat a try. It looks really good. Get out of here. This is really good. It definitely has some apple flavor to it, which is giving me a perfect fall vibe. And the price of this was actually really decent too. We paid $7.50 for this lunch combo. It's a great bargain.
We also got some cold apple cider and an apple cider donut. Let's give this donut a try. Nice and soft. That is so good. Nice and soft and fluffy, very nice and cinnamony, strong apple flavor. This is definitely a solid donut. Let's try that cider now. Oh man, that is so refreshing. It's kind of a pretty hot day today. It's like 85 degrees. And this is very refreshing, very cold, very fresh apple flavor.
The store had a lot of variety of other things too. There were little knickknacks, they had cider, they had jams and jellies and cake mixes and a whole ton of other things. So there is a lot of variety in the store, and you can enter the store without paying admission. So if you just want to pick up some apples or fun things at the store, you can do that without paying. Well, our time at Afton has come to an end, so it's the all-important part of the video. Let's rate our experience. First up, the apples.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of variety. You were able to taste the apples before you went to pick them, so you could figure out what you'd like. And the trees were very full of apples, so they were not picked over.
And nothing was really rotten. There wasn't a ton of fruit on the ground. It was very easy experience to get to the apples, and really fun too, because they take you on a tractor ride. So I think we'd rate this one a 5 out of 5. Next up for the activities. There were a ton of activities aside from pick your own apples. They had pick your own raspberries. They have a huge play area, a lot of activities to choose from. I think this is definitely a 5 out of 5 for activities.
For sure. Next up, the food. They had a pretty good variety of food that you could get. It was all very affordable.
Very good, very fresh, pretty tasty.
Pretty tasty, yeah.
I'd say the food is easily a 4.5 out of 5. Our fourth category is the vibe, and this place has a pretty good vibe. All the staff was super friendly, very helpful, very family friendly, a lot of activities. Everyone's in such a great mood to be here. Super fun. I think the vibe is easily a 4.5 out of 5. It's pretty high.
Yeah, and last, the price. I'd say that admission is not too expensive, but the fact that you have to pay is something to consider.
Yeah, you can't enter for free, so that is something. But parking's free.
And most activities are included in that price.
You have to pay for any fruit you pick.
I think we paid about $13 for our apples, and that was about a little over 4 pounds.
Yeah, and then each pint of berries that we picked was $6.99, so that's actually a pretty good price, I think.
So I think we'll give the price a 4 out of 5.
Absolutely. Overall, we had a really fun time at Afton Apple Orchard. Let's go to our next stop. For our second stop, we've come to Aamodt's Apple Farm in Stillwater. Parking was a little more challenging than the previous place, but not too bad and free. Let's go check out what they've got.
Okay, it's apple picking time. It's definitely a slightly different process than Afton. Here you don't pay by the pound for your apples, you pay for a bag size. So they have a small and a big bag. The small is 15, the big is 30, but you can fill them as much as you want. And we went for the big bag. So we're gonna be getting a lot of apples. And right now they're picking River Bell, which is something we actually tried over at Afton and we really liked it. So we're pretty happy to see that. Let's get picking.
This one's huge.
You gotta walk a little further down the lane to get some trees with apples on them. When you're picking apples, don't forget to do your workout.
Aside from apple picking, there are a few other activities here, including a free play area, paid tractor rides, and goats.
One fun thing about this place is that they're dog friendly. So as long as your dog is friendly, you can bring them here.
Aamodt's has more of a focus on its food and drink offerings, and there's a lot going on. First up, we're gonna try the apple cider brat. That's a good brat. It has a nice snap, it's got a really good flavor, and you can see it's got some nice char to it. That's really good. It doesn't have as much of an apple flavor as I was hoping though. Overall, it's still a good brat.
Oh, we couldn't leave without trying their apple cider donut. Looks like it's got a lot of sugar on it. That should be a good sign. Oh yeah, such a good texture, such a good fluffy texture in the middle. So flavorful, super appley, super cinnamony. This is for sure a 5 out of 5 donut.
Next up, we've got a flight of hard ciders from Thor's Hard Cider. We've got 6 different ones to try. It's a little awkward because there is no table to sit at. They do not have enough seating here. So makeshift table with the Adirondack chair here. Let's give a couple of these a try. This one I know is their original. Ooh. Nice, crisp, not too strong. I don't know, maybe I'll try this one. This is like got cranberries in it. It looks fun. but it's a little on the tart side for me. We're gonna have a lot of fun trying these.
Next, we're going to try their non-alcoholic apple cider. I would say that it's hard to tell if it's made here or if it's just like a generic brand that they sell at the store. So let's give it a try. It is very flavorful though. It definitely has some spices in there as well. I would definitely say this is a very good apple cider.
Wouldn't it be funny though if you're rating the same cider?
Yeah, everything here seems to be a little bit more expensive. That's definitely something we've learned so far.
A review of Aamodt's wouldn't be complete without trying some of the wine that they have here. This wine is from St. Croix Vineyards, which is partners with Aamodt. We've got the Orchard Reserve, which is a semi-sweet white wine that's supposed to have a hint of apples, and we have a blueberry pomegranate wine slushy. Let's give this a try. Ooh, that's nice. It does have a crispness to it and a hint of appley. I can taste that. Hint of appley? Very refreshing on this hot summer day. Let's try the slushy. Oh yeah, it's got undertones of wine, but it's mostly blueberry flavored. That's what I'm getting with a tartness from the pomegranate. I am loving.
Their store has a huge variety of things, including fresh baked pies and pastries, jam, syrup, popcorn, and of course, apples.
Our time at Aamodt's is coming to a close, so it's time for the ratings. First up, apples. I'd say there's not a huge variety of apples to pick from.
Yeah, at least today they only had one variety to choose.
And they limited it to 3 rows, and some of the trees were pretty picked over.
And the others had a lot of apples on the ground too, so.
Yeah, so the apple pickings were pretty slim, especially compared to the previous orchard. Overall, for the apple rating, I'd give this place a 3 out of 5.
Next up is activities. And I would say there's not too many activities to do here. Mostly people come here for the food and the drinks. Mm-hmm. And obviously you can pick apples, but there is a small little kind of hayride thing for kids.
You have to pay extra for it.
Yep. There's a small playground and there's a small area with petting zoos.
Yeah. So there's not too many things to do. I'd give the activities probably also a 3 out of 5. Next up is the food. The food we had was pretty good.
And there's quite a variety as well.
Absolutely. A huge variety of drinks for sure, especially if you're interested in wines or hard ciders. There's a huge variety to choose from.
Yeah, and they have brats and kettle corn and a couple other different, sundaes and other things like that.
And some things that we didn't see at other places, like the kettle corn, for instance. So for the food, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. Pretty good variety.
Yeah. Up next is the vibe.
It definitely skews more adult, for sure.
Because of all the alcoholic drinks.
Absolutely. People come here not to pick apples or do the activities. They come here for the drinks and just to lounge and chill.
Yeah.
For sure.
Although there's not enough places to sit for that lounging.
No, there really aren't. Be prepared to sit on the ground. Maybe bring a picnic blanket with you.
Yeah. So I think the vibe is going to land at about a 3.
Yeah, we weren't blown away by the vibe. I think 3 is a fair score here. And finally, price. There are some pros and cons to consider. First up, we didn't pay for parking and there was no admission fee. So that's a pro for sure.
Yeah, but pretty much all of the food was more expensive than the other food at Afton. So,
for instance, the apple cider was 5 times more expensive. The cup was bigger, but I don't think we got 5 times the volume.
No. And even like the brats and everything like that was more expensive. You didn't necessarily get a side with it, or a drink.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything was more expensive for sure.
So even though you're not paying an admission fee here, be prepared for higher prices just in general. I'd give the prices here a score of 3 out of 5. All right, that wraps it up for Aamodt's. Let's go to the next one. For a bit of an unexpected stop, we've come to the AppleHouse. It's not a traditional apple orchard. It's more of a house filled with apples. Here, you're not going to have activities. You're not going to have pick your own fruit. But they have tons of apples inside pre-picked that you can choose from. They have apples, they have gifts, they have apple baked goods, and tons of random other products too. So let's go check them out. They have apples, they have jam, they have applesauce, they have syrup, they have barbecue sauce, they have sausage in here, they have ice cream, they have cake mixes and baked mixes, they have apple pies, they have apple strudels, frickin' everything. It's pretty crazy. They have a huge selection, so the variety is pretty fantastic here.
Look what we got, mini donuts. Right next to the AppleHouse store, they've got the North Star Donuts food truck, and they've got apple cider mini donuts and several drink options. They've got cold brew coffee, hot apple cider, and a cold apple slushie. But let's give these donuts a try. Oh yeah. Again, with the donuts nice and fluffy. These have a good apple flavor, a good amount of sugar and cinnamon, and they're mini, so it's even better. And to wash it all down, we're gonna try the frozen apple cider slushie. It just tastes like you're drinking a fresh apple.
Well, this place doesn't have a whole ton of food options, not like other places where you could get brats or hot dogs and things like that. But we did pick up some apple cider mini donut fudge from inside the AppleHouse. Let's give that a try. Wow. That's really good. It's rich, it's creamy, it's got a little white chocolate undertone, very appley. How do they do that? There's like no real evidence of apples whatsoever, but it is so appley. It's got a little bit of cinnamon sugar and a little bit of like maybe carameliness to it. This is very good. All right, this was a bit of a quick stop, but let's get to the ratings for this one. First up, apples. It has a really good variety of apples.
Yeah, it's quite a selection.
You can't pick your own apples, so it does get docked a point for that. But the quality is really good here. Maybe we'll give the apple selection a 3.5.
And for activities, we're not going to rate that here because there's not really any activities to do.
Yeah, so we're going to pass on that one. The next category is food and drinks, and there isn't a huge variety of food and drinks, but everything we've had has been fantastic.
Yeah.
So we dock it a point for not having a huge variety, but otherwise it's a solid 4 out of 5.
Next up is vibes, and since it's mostly just a store and a food truck, there's not too many vibes.
Yeah, you're not really gonna come and hang out here for a long time like some of the other orchards we've been to. So the vibes are probably a 2 out of 5.
And finally, price. I'd say that the prices of all the food in the store are pretty reasonable.
And you don't have to pay admission, so that's really great. I think it's on par with other places we've been. Prices are probably a solid 4 out of 5.
Overall, the AppleHouse is great if you just want a quick stop for some apples, maybe buy a few other things, and enjoy some mini donuts.
That's it for today. We're gonna check out some other orchards tomorrow, but we'll see you then.
Good morning, friends. It is day 2 of our weekend of apple picking, and we've come to Ferguson's Minnesota Harvest. This place is huge. They're located in the South Metro, and we've never been here before, so we don't know what to expect, but it seems like they have a lot to offer. Parking is free, and they even have attendants flagging you down to tell you where to park. And we paid $18 admission, but the good news is your admission price is once for the season, and then you can come as many times as you want. So that's pretty cool. Let's go check out all the different activities they have. This is all Honeycrisp apples, and we paid $22 to fill this bag. The trees are a little tough to pick apples from. They're all pruned really close together, and they have been really picked over, at least the Honeycrisps have. So it's hard to find really good looking ones.
In addition to picking apples, there are a ton of different activities here, including free and paid options. Some of the free activities include wagon rides, animals, a jumping pad, corn pit, lawn games, and even bubbles.
What?
First impressions are that this place really focuses a lot on the additional activities, not mostly the apple picking. But one of the fun things they have here is a corn maze. Let's go check it out. Oh, I think this was a dead end.
Ah,
It's just a loop.
way to go.
Whatever. We'll get out of here eventually. We failed to download the map before we entered, so do that if you want to get out of this place. I think we found the exit.
Oh my gosh.
Ferguson also has some paid activities, including paintball shooting, apple cannons, and rock mining, and we did 2 out of 3.
We're shooting apple cannons. One of the activities you can pay extra for is apple cannons, and we paid $5 for 10 shots. You can pay $3 for 5 shots, and it is definitely worth it. It is very loud, so you may want some ear protection, especially for children.
One of the activities they have here is panning for different rocks. I can't pass that up because I love rocks. We bought the fossil package, which was $10. Let's see if we can find anything good. There we go. Ooh, I see stuff already. Look at this stuff.
Look how skilled you are.
I'm so skilled. I should do this for a living. What do we have? This is crazy. And, ooh, this has like a shell in there. That's cool. This is also a shell.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. We've got a lot of little scary teeth. That's kind of scary. We got a lot of things in here. This is fun.
Yeah, quite a bit for the price.
Yeah, for $10, I'm pretty pleased with this. They had a ton of different bags you could choose from for different price points. You could get a gemstone bag just filled with various gemstones. Jeremy was unwilling to let me buy the mega pack, which had like fossils and amethysts and crystals and gems and stuff for $45. That would have been amazing, and maybe I could convince him to get another bag.
The shop has a little bit of everything, including apples, apple cider, donuts, toys, and food.
For something a little bit savory, but not too much because there's apples in it, we got their barbecue mac and cheese. It's mac and cheese, barbecue sauce, pulled pork, and apples. They don't have brats here. Try and get a little bit of everything in this bite. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a big bite. Here we go. That's really good. The mac and cheese is super creamy. The barbecue sauce is a little bit sweet, which goes really nicely with the apples. That pork is legendary. Overall, this is really good and is really hitting the savory spot. It blends sweet and savory in a really nice way without being too sweet. So this is a good balance. I really like this.
Well, we've gotten really thirsty and we've worked up an appetite with the heat out here. So we got Ferguson's apple cider slushy with a apple cider donut on top. I even got some whipped cream and caramel. This looks delicious. Let's give the donut a try to start. Oh, wow, messy. Oh man, yeah, that's a really good donut. I wouldn't say it's a super apple-y donut. I'm actually not sure if it's supposed to be an apple donut, but I'm not tasting a whole lot of apple, but it's definitely a good cinnamon sugar donut, that's for sure. Let's give this drink a try. Oh yeah, nice and tart, very refreshing, very cold on this hot day. This is amazing, definitely get this one.
In addition to regular cider, Ferguson's also offers hard apple ciders, and we've got a flight here to try. Got Ferguson's cider, apple pie cider, donut cider, and blackberry cider. Let's give it a try. Oh, that's nice, crisp and with a nice apple flavor. Much stronger than the stuff we had yesterday. Honestly, that stuff was underwhelming. Ooh, apple pie has like a little bit of warming spices to it. The donut is hazy. Oh, it has a really sweet aftertaste. This one's very refreshing. I'm really loving that. And it's also got a bit of cinnamon to it. This is very fruity for sure. I think I'm loving the donut flavor. Overall, these ciders are really good. Much better than yesterday's.
We also got a glass of their apple wine. Nice little sweet white wine. Let's give it a try. Very nice. It does have quite a bit of sweetness, and you can definitely taste that appley flavor. This is a really good wine.
Well, we're wrapping up at Ferguson, so it's time to do some ratings. First up, apples.
They did have quite a selection of apples, and they even had Honeycrisp, which was a good thing.
Yeah, some of the other places we've been to said the Honeycrisp aren't ready yet, so that was nice. But the apple picking experience was not ideal, I'd say.
Yeah, the branches on the trees were pretty tight, so it was sometimes hard to get to the apples.
So overall, I think we'd say the apple picking experience was about a 3.5 here.
And then in terms of activities, there's quite a lot to do here, although some of it is paid extra on top of the admission fee.
Yeah, which is a little annoying.
I think we definitely get docked a little bit of points for all the money you have to spend, but there's still so much to do, so I think we're going to give that a 4.
Absolutely. There's a lot to do, but you have to pay for quite a bit of it. Next up, food and drinks. So they do have a decent selection of food and drinks here.
Yeah.
A little less than some places we've been to, but the food we've had has been really good. And I'd say the drinks have been really good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So the food here, it probably gets a score of 4.5.
Next up, the vibe. This is definitely a much more family-centric place. There's a lot of kids stuff to do. So if you have kids, it's a great place to come.
It can be a little chaotic. The atmosphere is a little more hectic here than it was at Afton. So, so for that reason, I think the vibe overall, it's a great place to come. Perfect for kids.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe a 4 out of 5.
And finally, the price. Obviously, it costs quite a bit to enter unless you're under 2 years of age.
Most people aren't. It was $18 to get in, but that does give you repeat entry here.
Yeah, so if you don't live too far away and you have kids, you can certainly come here quite a lot.
I have a feeling, though, that most people probably only come once a season. So if that's the case, $18 is a steep price to pay for admission.
Yeah, obviously all the activities that you have to pay for on top of the admission is certainly going to build up the bill.
And the apples here were a bit expensive. So I think overall the price is maybe a 3 out of 5.
Well, that's it for Ferguson, so let's head to the next place.
For our final stop on this apple orchard extravaganza weekend, we've come to LuceLine Orchards. It was free parking and free admission. It does seem like we have some paid activities though. Let's go check them out. It's a pretty hot day, but let's go apple picking. That is what we came here to do. They're having Zester, Honeycrisp, and Sweet Tango for picking, and they just started with their Honeycrisp, so there should be quite a variety. Let's go find some. We have a lot of apples at home. I think more apples than we ever intended. It was really fun to pick the apples, but if you have a favorite apple recipe, please share it in the comments because we're going to be struggling to use all these. In addition to apple picking, there are a handful of activities here. The free activities include the corn pit, the swings, the petting zoo, the zip line, and a handful of other things. And there are paid activities including face painting, the jumping pillow, the hayride, pony rides, and a couple of other things as well.
Each paid activity is $5, or you can buy passes for multiple things.
Well, the food options here seem to be kind of some state fair style stands with some hot dogs, corn dogs, cheese curds, and lemonade. They also have apple fritters that you can buy, so we got those. Nice and fried, kind of like irregularly shaped donuts. Plenty of sugar.
Is there an apple inside?
Interesting, there's like maybe a piece of apple. It's like half donut, half apple. This is actually pretty tasty. For how much you get here, it's pretty worth the price. I would definitely get these. Very good. We also looked around for some cider. We didn't see any non-alcoholic ciders, so we got some lemonade. That's refreshing.
The shop has a nice variety of goods, with many things we've seen at other stores. Some of the things you can find here are jams, soups and other mixes, cheese, and frozen baked goods ready to take and bake.
Oh man, it's a hot afternoon for sure, but we're wrapping up our time here, so let's get to the rankings. First off, apples.
They do have a couple of varieties available, including Honeycrisp, so that's a good thing.
It seems like their orchards are pretty small and a little immature. We've seen a lot of young trees and a lot of trees that can't support the weight of all the apples on them, which is a shame because the apples are great. The variety is great, but the maturity of the trees and the small size of the orchard maybe makes this a ranking of 3.5 out of 5. Next up, activities. There are quite a few activities here, plenty that are free and plenty that are paid.
Yeah.
And the paid ones are a reasonable price.
Right.
Nothing too expensive. I think everything is like $5 for paid activities, which
Right.
isn't too bad. Maybe it ranks at a 3.5 out of 5.
Next up is food, and like we said, there's not too much variety. They do have some state fair style stands, and it looks like a little bit of a grill section.
The disappointing part is that they didn't really seem to have their own cider on hand, and they didn't have any apple cider donuts or fresh baked goods that they baked here.
Right.
So the selection is maybe a little more limited than other places.
Yeah.
I think the food we had was really good, but I think overall the ranking is maybe a 3.5 out of 5.
Next up is vibes. I'd say it's very chill here, like very chill.
Very laid back.
They do have that stage where they've got a band playing and stuff, which is pretty cool, but if you're not near that, you don't really hear the music too much.
Yeah, they're the only place that has had live music while we've been here, so that's been pretty cool. Otherwise, it's a very laid back vibe. Maybe a little too laid back for our taste, but if you want a laid back vibe, this is the place to come. Overall, though, I think the vibe is maybe a 3.5 out of 5.
And finally, the price. It was free entry, and there are free activities.
Which is super nice.
And the activities that you can do are pretty cheap. But I would say that the price to pick apples here is probably the most expensive we've seen.
Yeah.
A small bag was $27 and a big bag was $40.
A small bag was $27.
So,
wow.
So yeah, it's definitely a lot for the apple picking. Maybe not the best place to come apple picking.
So overall, the prices here are maybe a 3 out of 5. Now that we've been to 5 very different styles of apple orchards or apple houses, I think it's time for our overall favorite. If you want a really nice vibe, lots of activities, and the cost isn't too expensive, and the focus is generally on picking apples, I think Afton is our favorite orchard.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely had some good food, some good activities, and it wasn't too expensive.
Absolutely. And now that we're all appled out, we're going to call it a night, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Of course, the price. Why was that funny?
Because you didn't have a sixth finger.
I didn't say there were going to be 6 things. How do I unlock these?
Good question. And the apples had a lot of
And the apples had a lot of apples.
And the apples were very full of apples. And lastly, the price.
Are you going to say anything else? I'm in a rut. I'm in a dip.
We're in a rut.
That's rude. We're in a dip.
Literally.
We're literally standing in a dip.
That cute little apple butt. And finally, price.
Oh, you're not going to say that. Wow, we're getting eaten by mosquitoes.